love to hear what the inside of the building sounds like in Oklahoma City right now as those Thunder fans who could taste the franchise's second trip to the NBA Finals since the move to Oklahoma City, had it yanked away by Thompson and by Curry and by their own team's turnovers down the stretch, and now have to go back to Oakland for a Game 7. Home teams all time in Game 7s in the NBA playoffs are 124. Momentum, history, advantage right now back to the defending champs. Rick Fox, Sekou Smith right there, and I'll let you guys kind of riff on what you just saw.
Well, I witnessed from Klay Thompson, because if I don't start there, I think we'd all be remiss. He pulled his team into a situation that afforded them an opportunity. Now, they did in stretches play the defense they needed to play as well, but Oklahoma City, as well as they played for three quarters, helped them extensively by turning the ball over, taking ill-advised shots, and letting this Game 6, go to a 7. And wow, I mean, it's great for us as basketball fans and tuning in to watch on Monday, on Memorial Day weekend, a doozy of a battle still here in this series. But Sekou, man, I'm amazed by Klay Thompson, and I think he opened it up a little bit for Steph Curry to come along as well, because we were waiting for those moments for Steph to have that we saw Klay having, and I think it freed him up a little bit.
It's the first time in these playoffs that they look like the Splash Brothers.
Yeah.
Both of them, at the same time playing off of each other, making unbelievable shots like we know that they're both capable of doing. But as much as this was about the Warriors, the resiliency of a championship team, them showing the mettle that you have to show when your season's on the line, I can't help but think about all the mistakes that the Thunder made in that last 2 minutes. When it's anybody's game, it's a possession game, and they just made one mistake, one turnover after another. Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, guys who have been great in this series, great in this building, and they could not match Steph and Klay down the stretch.
Not just the final 2 minutes. Over the final 4 minutes, 40 seconds, Golden State outscored Oklahoma City 16-4. During that 4-minute, 40-second stretch, the Thunder had 6 turnovers, 4 of which were on Russell Westbrook. Those 6 turnovers led to 10 points.
And great defense, by the way, from Andre Iguodala.
Andre Iguodala was phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Whichever of those guys he was dealing with down the stretch, he was great. But the shot making by Steph and Klay and the playmaking, this is what everybody expected to see from them from Game 1 of this series. We were always thinking, Splash Brothers, these two are going to go into that mode, and they struggled to get there. Even in the third quarter, we were talking about it, that Steph looked like he was gassed when, and Klay is getting his rest. But you got to give Steve Kerr a lot of credit. He knew when to push those buttons, having been through a championship run last season. It's just something about the core that runs through a championship team. You got to stomp them out. You can't, they're not going to let you put them out. They're not going to let you eliminate them. You're going to have to knock them out.
And I would say that 4 or 5, 6 minute stretch might have been the first time we saw the lineup of death actually pay dividends the way it did last year. I mean, I thought the move to start Iggy Pop in the second half was a really sharp move on Steve Kerr's part. Harrison Barnes effective, but not to the level defensively that he was going to get from Iggy. And I thought, regardless of who he was on, he had the clamps going. And it also, I think, energized the rest of his teammates, put the defensive focus in that game really on a level that I hadn't seen it from the Warriors in this series quite yet. But boy, man, the turnovers, the deflections, everything got active on that end of the floor, and it created the offensive opportunities.
Some of it was excellent defense. The Iguodala strip on Russell Westbrook, which led directly to a Klay Thompson 3 comes to mind. Some of it was just sloppy in Oklahoma City's part, and this has been a bugaboo for them all season and for years now, closing out games cleanly, and they weren't able to do it tonight. I want you to take me into the locker room a little bit and into the heads of guys. Not that you're a psychologist here, but you're the Thunder. This was your chance to close out on your home floor, had ample opportunity to win this game. Suddenly you've got to reset and go play a Game 7 on the road. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, starting the series, I'd have to think that if you're the Oklahoma City Thunder, you had to think it was going to take probably 7 to beat this team. They had stretches of fourth quarter performances that afforded them a head start in the series, but here they find themselves in a Game 7 on the road against the Warriors. Now, what they've shown me enough of is that fourth quarters really determine these games. The rebounding, they have an edge. It took a performance like Klay's and Steph down the stretch in the fourth to really secure a win for them. So I don't know if they have the ability to defensively put together a better effort against just those two guys. But the supporting cast came along a little more, and we were all calling for that to happen for the Warriors to get it to a 7. But also, I mean, look, the way Klay played tonight, the way Steph played in the fourth, the Warriors, this could have been a different outcome simply on the last 6 minutes of this game. And Oklahoma City could have controlled that. And they had been doing that. That's how they beat the Spurs. That's how they got the lead in this series against the Warriors. But they reverted back to the Achilles heel, and it reared its head again. But you have to give the Warriors credit for that.
Absolutely. The shot making was incredible.
Yeah, that was done on both ends of the floors by the Warriors, wouldn't you say? I don't think it was just solely at the hands of miscues by the Oklahoma City Thunder.